Oh, hi there, big boys, and welcome to my review of Rack and Ruin for Nintendo Switch. Bit of an odd game, this one. Not a great fan of it. I don't think it's awful, to be fair, but I do also. I mean, much similar to the game I reviewed yesterday, Stranded Sails. I just feel like it doesn't. What it does do, it doesn't do particularly well. Which is a shame. Which is a shame. And there's better games out there which do the same thing. Anyway, so it's a top-down adventure game, sort of in the style of Zelda, the Legend of Zelda games, sort of Link of the Past, that sort of thing. And the gimmick of this one being is you play as an evil guy. You play as an evil little baddie man who goes around killing people and then not really feeling very bad about it. So there's sort of bullet hell elements because you have ranged combat and a lot of the enemies shoot ranged attacks and you get loads of them to try and dodge them, the sort of thing. There's also melee combat. It does the job. It's not particularly satisfying, but it's there and it gives you a little bit of it. I mean, neither is Zelda games really. The combat's never really been the focus. So the main gameplay is Zelda-like dungeons, which seem quite well designed. But the problem is the fact that I never really know where I'm supposed to be going. Like, it's very easy to get lost, but once you actually are on the right track, it is quite fun and it's quite well designed. Yeah, it's pretty good in that way. But what's not so good is the overworld, because it's massive. I'll be fair, it's quite big. It's got lots of little secrets everywhere, with like collectibles and unlockable features and all that gubbins. But it's just like it's very easy to get lost, and you do sort of have a little map, but it's not particularly helpful. It doesn't really. It's quite vague, but it's there. The writing is pretty good. Well, I mean, it's fine. It's quite fun, at least. It's not taken very. It's not being done very seriously, and you get to play as a baddie who hates everyone, which is a good description of me, I think, or at least hates everyone bit. Hate myself anyway. I don't know where I'm going with that. Knowing where to go, yeah, it can be quite confusing, because I have been lost in that game more times than I have not been lost. Does that make sense? I don't know really, but yeah, that's a problem. The art style is quite like sort of flash gamey, isn't it? But it's not bad. I quite like it at points. But equally, I'm not a huge fan. Doesn't look amazing. Runs at about 30 FPS on Switch. There was some slowdown, which seems to be when you get more bullets going around and stuff like that. Which is a shame. It's a shame. But it doesn't look awful, and there's some good haptics, really decent haptics in there. See, on Switch it seems pretty good. I would have liked the hint system, because some of the puzzles and especially the getting lost bit, as I keep pointing out, it's quite painful to know where to go and what to do, especially if you haven't played it in a while. Then you're just going to be completely lost, which is a shame. Puzzles are quite good though, I think. As I say, I think the best bit of the game are the dungeons by far. The dungeons are quite well designed and quite fun, and they sort of loop back on themselves with keys and all that, like you expect a Zelda game to. So that's good. Yeah, and about 6 hours long, which isn't too bad for a game like this. That's I think decent. So yeah, that's all good. But as I say, my main problem with the game is I just had trouble knowing what I was supposed to be doing, where I was supposed to be going, that sort of thing. And yeah, as I said, the combat wasn't particularly exciting either, just a bit sort of boring. But the puzzles were fun, like genuine. Which is weird because I don't normally like puzzles, but puzzles are actually quite well made. It does feel a bit like a Zelda game just reskinned, which isn't a bad thing, to be fair. 'Cause you don't really get that many of them, but the ones you do get, I just feel like are better than this one, to be honest. So yeah, it would have been nice to have like a little bit of like a person that follows you around and like tells you, gives you little hints and stuff like that, sort of like Ocarina of Time, that sort of thing. Cause I know people get annoyed by it, but when it's done well, it can be quite helpful. But yeah, that's Rack and Ruin for Nintendo Switch. It's not a bad game at all, and if you like Zelda games or Zelda style games, you will probably enjoy this game. And yeah, I've definitely played worse. I just think it could have been better. It could have been better. But yeah, it's on Nintendo Switch, and you can get it on Steam, other places, PS4, all the other places. So that's good. Yeah, and it's actually quite hard as well. To be fair, it's another thing to point out. There's not a lot of checkpoints, and if you die, then you have to go back quite a bit, back. But yeah, it's a bit labyrinthy in that sort of style, like sort of being don't really know where you're supposed to go and all that. Yeah, but then you also have this massive amount of, you have like loads of items, right? I haven't stopped speaking yet, have I? You've got loads of items, and there's, to be honest, too many of them, because you have to like keep swapping between them, and the controls are kind of finicky. And yeah, it's kind of hard to remember what half of them even do. At one point I fought a dragon, and I was like, that's quite fun. That was quite well made, that boss fight. The boss fights are actually pretty good, to be fair. So yeah, it isn't a bad game. I just feel like it could have done with a bit more time in the oven, you know. But there you go. That's Rack and Ruin for Nintendo Switch. So yeah, thanks for watching me, boys. See you some point in time, and bye.